Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of Team Time. Wow, it's an exciting edition, is this? Now, I've got something exciting to tell you. We have found on this meticulously kept site the remains of two giants of history. Firstly, we believe we have found the remains of King Alfred. Aye, King Alfred the Great of the Wessexians. Oh, what a no doubt it's him. Now, many believed he were buried somewhere near Winchester. There's a statue of him down there somewhere, I believe. But no, we found him up here, up north. Aren't we? Look. Now, that's not all. Next to King Alfred are the remains of another great. We believe, in fact, no, we know, we found the remains of King Arthur. And his lovely wife Guinevere. Why do we know it's Guinevere? Well, she is laid there right next to him, and she got this like long blonde hair. It's got to be her. I've seen pictures. So we get really excited, but it doesn't stop there. This site is just about 6 miles south of where yesterday the remains of Robin Hood were found, and we know it was Robin Hood because there was a bow and an arrow right next to him, the remains of a bow and arrow right next to him. And in his grave was another person, and it was a woman. Right? And we believe that was Maid Marian. What an exciting find that was. And so this edition of Team Time is going to be fabulous. Now, let me tell you, it's not it. It's not all. No, not by a long chalk, because what we found, King Arthur was buried on a wooden structure, and that structure was round in shape. Aye, round in shape. You know what that means, don't you? And him and his brother and his missus, Guinevere, were all laid on the round table, and then buried on top of the round table, but it doesn't stop there neither. No, it don't. Because on that table were a number of different items, and a lot of them were rotted. We couldn't really identify them, as far as saying it were probably knives and forks and spoons and things, you know, stuff to eat with. Now, what we found is a goblet. And the shape of this goblet, we believe, is the long searched for, long sought after Holy Grail. The goblet that Jesus himself drank his last cup of wine from. Isn't that fabulous? On today of all days, eh? Good Monday. It's Good Monday today, and so finding this, it's just fantastic. It's like it was meant to be. Aye. So I can't show you it right now because it's all covered in mud. But I'll tell you what, we're going to be right back when it's cleaned up, and we're going to have a look at some of this stuff. Okay, right, we'll be seeing you in a minute. All right. Well, welcome back to Time Team, and I've got some good news, and I've got some bad news. Now, the good news is that yes, this could be the site of the burial place of Alfred and his brother. But it's looking like it might not be. It could be, so still, it still could be. It could be. The table we thought was a table was just the remains of a barn door that had been rotted away, and it looked like a sort of circling shape, but it was not. It was just a barn door. We could tell by some of the metal attachments that were attached to it. We should look a bit deeper, really, before we started making wild announcements. We found King Arthur and his brother Alfred. But there you go. It's not a positive thing, this archaeologicalism. It's not a positive thing. Anyway, The bad news is the goblet, what we thought were the Holy Grail, turns out not to be so. It's a more modern drinking vessel. We know it goes back to Southampton, dated possibly 2030. It was turn of the century. Turn of the century. So can we have the mug? Thank you. Yes, it's turn of the century, and we know it's from Southampton because it has. Can you see that? Can you see it? Yeah, it has Southampton on it. Look, Southampton FC. So we got that wrong, but never mind. And of course, there's some more bad news in as much as our find just a little bit further away from here. Robin Hood and Mary Marion turned out not to be. Our geophys took us to a place where we knew there were some remains, and the thing with geophys is great. It tells us there's something there, but it doesn't tell us who. And it can't tell us how long they've been there. So we were digging, and a fella come rushing up and said, "What are you doing digging here?" I said, "Well, we think we found the remains of Robin Hood and Mary Marion." He said, "No, you haven't. You've dug up my mum and dad." So I said, "What?" He said, "Look behind you." And so we looked behind us. We were so busy following the geophys, we didn't look. It was a gravestone. Norman and Edna Orpington. So young Orpington's trying to kick us off. It was his mum and dad. It wasn't. We're not Robin Hood and Mary Marion. So we have to leave. And we're not allowed back to that site. The vicar has said you can't come back. But never mind. There are other places we can go. So this particular program of Time Team started off to be really exciting, but has ended up being a bit of a disappointment. But don't worry, next time we'll be sure to bring you something fantastic. Okay, until then, ta-ra. Right, Tim, next time, can we go back to visiting sites that are, being pre-dug? We know there's something there, like a mosaic. We're just going to dig down an inch or two and discover a mosaic like we did in Coventry. Can we go to those sites where we know there's something there like we used to? This is a waste of time. And I can't keep this accent up for an whole hour. I'm telling you. Where's my tea? We've got my tea. Where's that idiot with my tea? Punch somebody if I don't get a cup of tea. Hey, we're still on. Somebody stop this. Stop this recording now.